Hey guys, it's Jonathan Bocher here from PlayGuitar.com. Today we are talking about palm muting, which is kind of the second in our series on expressive strumming. Learn more at PlayGuitar.com/expressive. Why palm muting? Well, why muting in general? Muting in general is it's just a way of kind of compressing the sound that comes from your instrument, you know, reducing the full range of frequencies that your ear is hearing. I'll give you an example, right? Totally unmuted, straight strum. There's a much more muted sound, right, versus the full one. When we're talking about expressive strumming, every little trick that you can use to modify the sound that comes out of your guitar is useful. You might not use every trick every time, right? But the more little tricks that you have, the more you have ways of perfectly crafting a sound to fit a specific situation, right? So muting is a really powerful one because it can really help you tighten up your rhythm sound. Okay, we're going to use that same chord progression that we were using in the previous lesson. That's A minor, C major, G major, and D major, 1 bar each, okay? And we're going to apply a palm mute. So instead of just strumming like this, we're going to use that chug too, by the way, okay? Which, for reminder, is just you're just hitting 2 or 3 strings. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add in our palm mute, and it's going to sound like this. Can you hear the difference? So the trick with the palm mute is you want to place it properly, okay? If you place it up here, nothing happening at all. Just no noise, right? And that's because our palm is completely on the strings. You can listen close. Right there, you start hearing a little bit of tone coming through. And then as my hand actually came fully off of the strings, that's when you started hearing them ringing out fully, okay? So that's one way you can go about palm muting, is to just kind of just ride the end of the strings there and find a spot that works for you. And as you practice it, it's just going to become a natural thing. You're not going to think hard about, oh, am I like, you know, half an inch away from whatever. Like, forget it. Just start practicing it and playing with it, and it's going to start becoming a natural part of how you play. So as you come off, oftentimes my hand will just end up resting on the pins here for a completely full open sound. If I'm still chugging, right, like this. Of course, if you're doing strumming, you don't want your hand anchored there, because then you're working your wrist too much, and that's going to be hard on your wrist. But for certain things, like when you're in tight, doing this sort of thing, the chugging, or if you're like picking, I'll often keep my hand anchored there. And by anchored, I don't mean like anchored, right? Like stuck to the thing. I mean, I'm kind of just, you know, just like you're touching something. If you think of like, if you're walking across, say you're walking across a log, right? You can touch a wall or a handrail or whatever it is that's there, and without like hanging on to the thing, just simply touching it makes a huge difference and a huge improvement in your ability to balance, right? That's kind of what I'm talking about here. I'm just touching it. And by touching it, I give myself an anchor point that helps improve my accuracy. So it's kind of a side benefit of using this sort of a style. Another way of going about the palm mute would be to, you know, depending on your guitar, right, and where you strum it, they're all going to be a bit different. Everybody's going to engage with their guitars a little bit different too, due to your body size and shape and all that. But if you're not able to strum right along on the bridge, then you could use like a finger to give you that touch point as well. And it just gives you a bit of an anchor point. And then you can just slowly bring your palm down. Okay, mute on, off. And at that point, I'm probably an inch in from the end of the strings. That's a little bit more tricky, but it could be a good option for you, depending on the situation. So practice that, and practice going, you know, full mute half mute, no mute at all, right? Or like just everywhere in the spectrum, and see what kind of sounds you can produce. I bet you it really helps out tighten up your strumming. And you don't want to use it necessarily like on every bar all the time and all your strumming, right? Maybe you use it for 2 strums in a bar. Maybe that's it, right? But by doing that, you give yourself an extra little bit of something different, the little je ne sais quoi that kind of gives you that, that better sound out of your strum that's just not so stock, right? So anyways, I hope you found that helpful. Check out PlayGuitar.com/expressive. There's lots more there. And have yourself a great day. We'll see you again next time.